In this video, we're going to look at the ways to improve the design and the layout of standard compensation statements in SuccessFactors. Here we have a combined statement getting data from salary planning and incentive planning. And as we can see when we scroll to the bottom, the statement spreads on 2 pages, mostly for 2 reasons. The first one is that the statement is using the signature section on top of a lot of information displayed on the right side, including a lot of text information. So in this video, we're going to look at how to take the information, especially the text information, such as employee name, job title, performance rating, job family, job level, take these information and place them in the main text area of the statement here on the left side. To do that, we're going to need to go to the statement editor and under actions for all plans, open our statement, our standard statement UI. And the first thing we want to do here is to create a section on top of the text. So it's a section that will display here. And we're going to call it employee information. And in this section about employee information, we're going to, so we can save this, we're going to add some of the information that is here. To do that, we need to save this and then go to where our statement template is mapped to our salary planning template. And then so go back to manage statement templates, and here we need to click on export and open the exported XSL in a statement editor. And in the section where it says variable definitions go here, we want to get all of the information that we want to show in that main text area. So the first one would be custom employee name. So we're going to copy this and then go back to here, our statement template UI, design UI. And so here we're going to paste it under employee information, but we're going to paste it in a very specific way. First, we're going to add a quotation mark, a single quote, and then 2 brackets, and then a $sign. I'm going to zoom in so that it's easier to follow. So 2 brackets, $sign, and then we're going to paste the name of the field that we got in the code of the statement, and then end, double bracket, single quote, comma, space. And we're going to do the same for every single information we want to display here. So the next one down would be on top of employee name would be person ID, and then we're going to do it for all of these information so that we can remove them from the right side eventually and save some space on the right side. So let's do it for all of them. So the next one down is custom ID, single quote, double bracket, $sign, paste. We have the custom country. The job title. Job family. Finally, the performance rating. So all of the text information that are not compensation related, we're going to move them to this main body of the statement here. Okay, so now that we've done this, I want to check that everything's correct between brackets with the $sign. Yes, everything's correct, so I can hit save. And before we change the layout of this section here, to make it more readable, we're going to try to launch the worksheets, the statements. Sorry, it's important that you do once you've followed this first step here of adding the definitions here. It's important that you do run a first launch of the statement. So we're going to close this and recall the statements that have been generated previously here by doing recall statements, all statements, and making sure that everything has been recalled before we launch this new round. Okay, so it worked correctly. Now we don't have any statements generated, so let's give it a try and generate our statement. Okay, so it works fine. Now let's take a look at Manage Statement Templates. It says 3 generated, so we can download the statements here. I always select multiple small PDFs. Print, check print job status. This is the previous round, so I can remove it. And let's wait for it to generate. Okay, and I'm looking at this one. This is my test user, Allison Mahoney. And when I open this, I'm not seeing the data I should be seeing. So let's see about this. We're going to check that everything was saved in there. Looks like everything was saved, but what we're going to do, since we didn't get what we were expecting, is we're going to select everything here and do formatting again. I did that earlier and it fixed my issue. Save again. Okay, close, and then recall the statements and rerun the statements launch. Okay, the statements have been recalled, so let's do it again. Okay, looks like it worked. Let's download them and check. Okay, so this is what I was trying to get to. Now that we've added our keys here, we can see that the employee information is showing correctly. So we have all the information from the right side. They're now showing on the left side in the main body text. So now that we have this, we're going to hide the fields on the right side and format the fields on the left side in the main body text. So let's do it. We're going to delete this as well as this. We will relaunch. Go to Actions for all plans, Manage Statement Templates, And here, the first thing we want to do is hide those fields. So the way you're going to hide them from the right side, you need to keep them in the design, but hide them. So the way to do that is to create a new section, add section here. That will be called hidden fields. So that section will show at the very bottom of your list here. And all of the fields that you define on the left side, you're going to move them to that section. So employee name, you've got to do them one by one, unfortunately. And the scrolling is not always very intuitive. Okay, so employee name is here, and then person ID. Then we have country. And then job title. It doesn't really matter in which order they show in that hidden section because they will be hidden anyways on display. As the only thing that matters is that they are there in that section. Finally, performance rating. So we have all of these fields here in this section. And what we're going to do is add a condition on the hidden field section so that these fields never show. And to do that, there's one easy way to do it. It's by doing you can select the annualized base salary, and you can do is less than 0. So the section will be displayed in the statement when the following conditions are met. If the annualized base salary is less than 0, which if data migration happened the right way in Employee Central should never happen. So these fields will never show, but they will still be in the definition of the statement so that you can show them on the left side. So let's do a quick launch to make sure that we still have everything here and those fields are now hidden on the right side, and then we'll come back and we'll format these fields here to look a little better. Okay, let's go ahead. I'm going to make sure that this is all in the same font, same size by doing here this. Okay, and close. We're going to recall the statements, make sure that nothing is generated. In reality, if you were to relaunch a round of statement right away without recalling, it would override the ones that were already in the system, but I like to do this so that I make sure that I always start a fresh launch from a situation where nothing is in the system. Okay, so this worked. Let's check. Generated 0, and now we can go ahead and generate a new round. Okay, completed. Let's go ahead and check. Okay, here, let's download this one. Okay, so we still have all the employee information here, but what we can see is that the ones on the right side have disappeared, and now our statement fits on one page. Here we're lucky because the information on the right side is we don't have a lot, but if you wanted to save a little bit more space, if you still have the issue of everything spreading on the second page, another thing that you could do is take the signature here at the bottom, and instead of adding it to the signature section of the template, of the statement template, as I will show you, what you can do is to leave it blank here and take the signature and move it to the bottom of the text here. So I'm going to do an example for you here. and we would do maybe a double space to make sure there's more space between the main text and the signature, and save. And then in the signature section, just leave it blank, but add a space. So just one space will be enough for the system to be able to save, and then save it all here. And while we're here, we're going to take some time to format the information here. So first we will do, so we have the employee name. So employee information, we're going to put it in bold, and then we're going to do employee name, and we can remove the quotation marks now, as well as the comma. So I'll first align everything. Person ID, country, job title, job family, job role, I think it was called job level, and performance rating 2020. Okay, and now let me delete the quotation marks as well as the commas. Okay, and the last thing we want to do is there are often issues with the size of the text when you add new text. So I always like to select the main text, everything in it, and always realign the size of the text, and then save, and then close here. Okay, let's do a final test. Recall all the statements as we usually do. It's completed, so we can check that no statements is still in there. Yes, and then generate statement. Okay, it's completed. Let's go ahead and check, but before, I've had some issues, so I want to delete this one from my downloaded folders, and let's go ahead and download the statements here one last time. This one we don't need. Okay, and here we go. So we have a statement with all the same information, except that we reworked it. We still have a second page, so that's a great case actually. We're going to see how we can improve this. So we moved this from the signature to here, but we still need to, because we added some spacing. We used to have all this information without the name of the information and just the values for each field separated by a comma. So we added a lot of new lines. So now we need to find a way to make sure that we don't have this second page here. So we still have a little bit of work to do. So we're going to try to removing the double spacing, as well as making sure that this shows in the same font than the main text, and see if this helps in removing the second page. Let's go back, and we can delete this as well as the one we just downloaded, and go back to Actions for All Plans, Manage Statement Templates, Total Reward Statement, and here we're going to select here this part of the text. So first we're going to remove the double spacing, like this, and then select everything and do this and save. And let's see if this helps. Let's recall. All right, let's generate some. Completed. Let's go ahead and download them. And hopefully this time it will stick on one page. We still have 2 pages, but I think that the changes haven't been saved correctly, because I can see now we have one spacing, which is good, but we still have a double font here. So let's try. We could move the pay grade to this here. That would save us a little bit of space on the right side, and we need to make sure that the font here is in the same size. So we have 2 things, the pay grade and this here. So let's go ahead and go back. And go to Actions for All Plans. I'm going to unzoom a little bit. That's easier for me to work. Okay, I'll scroll down and just select the entire text again and do maybe this and then this again. Okay, save. On top of that, we're going to move the pay grade from here to the main body text, main text here. So the pay grade is pay grade 241. So let's put it here after job role. Let's put it here first with quotation mark. And then try it out, see if we get the right value. We can already move it to the hidden field section. Save. And let's do it. Let's do the font selection again. From XS to S. And let's give it another run. Okay, it looks like it worked. So let's download them and check. Hmm. The font is still not correct. Somehow it's still showing the pay grade. So I think I'm having an issue here because this field has been moved to the hidden field section. I think what the system is showing me is not what I just downloaded. So I'll check that. Let's open this one that I just downloaded. Okay, something didn't work, so it's okay. We'll go back and try to understand what didn't work. So if I go here, we made the changes, but somehow they didn't get picked up by the system. So we're gonna change the font here a little bit. Select all this and do access and save a few times. And the pay grade should not be showing anymore on the right side, and the text should be a little smaller here. This is what we're hoping for. Okay, let's do another run. Okay, let's go ahead and regenerate around, relaunch around here. Something is not picked up, and I think it's has to do with, it's happened before. I think it has to do with the memory on the computer is not picking up the changes. So what we're going to do is just recall these statements, and we're going to do a little trick to check that the changes have been correctly saved. So once the statements are recalled, okay, it's good. We're going to create a new template here, a new statement template, and call it differently. We're going to save as 2020 total reward without the statement, which creates a new, oh, no, this is not what we wanted. 2020 total reward. So it creates a new statement template, and we're going to tie that new statement template with all our changes to our template, our salary planning template in Relaunch. Okay, save. And now we can delete the other two. Okay, and run around. Let's see. Completed. I'm going to download this one, and I'm also going to empty my recycle bin, just because of the cache memory in the browser and the computer. Okay, print. Okay, let's see. Okay, so now we have one statement on one page. The text a little smaller. I'm sure we could make it a little bigger. We have pay grade now showing here. We need to remove the quotation marks. And it's looking much, much, much better. We could merge this text into one paragraph, which would save a line space. And it's looking much, much, much better. So now we only have the compensation information on the right side, and all of the text information are here. So let's do that last change, remove the quotation mark, maybe try to make the text a little bigger and see what we get. Okay, so here we go back to this manage statement template, and we select the entire text. So first we're going to merge these two here into one text. Remove the quotation mark. And then merge these two in one. And finally make the whole text a little bigger. And save. And let's do a new round. Okay, generate. call it hopefully final version. Maybe that will bring us luck. And multiple small PDFs. Yes. Oh, no, we still have 2 pages. So we do have a problem here with the font. I think the text is too long in this size of text. There's too much text. We would have to remove some of the lines here, either in this text, maybe 1 or 2 sentences, because here the problem is really the text that is too big. So we did see that previously when we had a smaller text, it would fit on 1 page. So the problem is not the information on the right side. As you can see, we still have a lot of space here. The problem is really the text that goes too far down and automatically triggers a second page. So we can revert this change back and make it smaller again, or we can also remove a 1 or 2 sentences from our text. But that is here inevitable. We'll have to do that. Okay. Let's go back. We can recall the statements already. Okay, now in the meantime, let's do this. Okay, so we're going to, maybe delete. Let's leave the text size as it is because it's more visible, but we can remove, maybe job family, job role. These are usually not on statements, but the rest is. So yeah, job role can go and save. And maybe we can delete this sentence too. Save. Okay. We can delete the ones that we can delete from here, the ones that we deleted in here. So we don't need job family. We don't need job level, and that's it. Save. And now we just have to relaunch what hopefully should be the very last launch. So it does take some time to work on this, but the user experience for the customer in the end is way better. Okay, let's check. Yes, so now it worked fine. We have a text that is here. We deleted the sentence. We could add some spacing between the 2 paragraphs without necessarily triggering a new page, but we have everything on 1 page, and we kept most of the information we had on the right side. We just deleted the job role and the job level and the job family, and just 1 sentence out of our text here. So it's a lot of technical work. You have to know how to do this, which we explained in this video. But on top of that, you need to, once you've done all that work, you need to work with the customer to maybe delete some of the content of the text on the left side here. But now we have most of the information that was initially in the initial requirement from the customer, and it all fits on 1 page.